there's a lot going on. Like, I don't know if you guys know this, but there's literally a floating island of garbage in the middle of the ocean right now. Yeah. I think it's called Puerto Rico. Okay. All right. Okay. We're getting there.
Probably the most politically incorrect comedian, Tony Hinchcliffe, speaks at Trump's huge Madison Square Garden rally, and he brought the heat, and he's catching backlash, including from Trump's campaign. Welcome back to the JP Reacts channel, my beautiful freedom-loving friend. This is where we like to call out the lies, hypocrisy, and corruption of tyrants and Satan, shine the light of awareness on woke absurdities, and highlight the amazing work of other freedom fighters. So Trump has so much darn momentum, and at this huge rally he held at Madison Square Garden, one of the speakers on the stage was comedian Tony Hinchcliffe. He's got the world famous show Kill Tony, the most politically incorrect show and the most politically incorrect comedian currently, which is Tony Hinchcliffe. So he spoke at the Trump rally at MSG. By speaking, it was basically a 10-minute comedy set. And quite frankly, before I saw any of it, when I saw, oh, Tony Hinchcliffe is speaking there, I was actually shocked. I'm like, why? Like, Trump's campaign is having him? This is going to be good, but I'm surprised his campaign is having him, because as much as Trump and everybody who supports Trump is all about free speech, there's also a level of vulgarity and, racism is what Tony Hinchcliffe is being accused of by the woke left here after his performance. So there's just like a certain amount of tact that campaigns like Trump's is going to have and who their speakers are. So in a second, we're going to take a look at Tony Hinchcliffe's full set. You'll know, like, oh, this is not politically correct. And I am surprised that this is actually happening at a Trump rally. Personally, I'm glad it did. I just don't think the campaign knew what they were getting themselves into. We'll also see what some of the media is saying. We'll see what Tim Waltz in AOC had to say about Tony Hinchcliffe's set. And also, most importantly, you'll hear what Tony Hinchcliffe himself has to say about the backlash coming his way. Share that with you. And I think Tony Hinchcliffe is glad the backlash is coming his way. So first, let's take a quick look at some of these media headlines just all over. Comedian at Trump rally makes racist jokes about Latinos in Puerto Rico. Trump rally at MSG marked by racist, lewd jokes. Trump rally speaker Tony Hinchcliffe calls Puerto Rico floating island of trash. And that's great. Comedian Tony Hinchcliffe performs wildly racist set. Trump. Full disclaimer, his jokes are racist. And I have to give you this disclaimer as well. He does it because it's politically incorrect. He does it, I believe, as much as like racist jokes aren't my thing, he does it because it's taking a stand for free speech. By the way, you'll hear from Tony himself. He is not racist whatsoever. He is doing comedy. He's not making statements or activism. He's doing comedy. And Tony Hinchcliffe's track record of not being racist speaks for himself. Some of his closest friends are black comedians. He has helped the careers of black comedians. If you've ever seen his show, Kill Tony, he'll have friends of his who are black comedians on stage, and they're roasting each other, and they love each other. So his kind of comedy ain't for everybody. And quite frankly, it wasn't even for everybody at the Trump rally at MSG. So let's take a look at what Tony Hinchcliffe was saying and some of what he got in trouble for.
Wow, isn't this special? 17 years ago, I was sleeping in my car behind the Comedy Store in LA, and I'm proud to say this is my 4th time performing at Madison Square Garden, the most famous arena in the damn world. The American dream, alive and well, right here. This is very different than I'm used to performing, though. I'm used to nighttime with people drinking, not so many babies in the crowd, and people that are obviously only here for Lee Greenwood tonight. Normally, I don't make my political beliefs a known thing. It's divisive for a comedian to do that, but just know I sleep well at night knowing who I'm voting for. Yeah. when I lay down and my head hits my pillow. It is a fantastic pillow, by the way. I was staying at Four Seasons up by Central Park one night, and I laid my head down, and it felt so good, and I thought to myself, what an pillow. I have a little...
By the way, I apologize for the broken audio. That's just the RSB and the Right Side Broadcasting Network. It's how their audio came through, so please forgive me.
Bit of money now. I could buy a good pillow, and I took the pillowcase off, and there it was. My pillow, my pillow, my pillow. And damn it, I bought 4 of them.
He's getting the crowd warmed up. We're doing okay so far.
And if you use the promo code KILLTONY, you can also buy 4 My Pillows. There's serious stuff happening, people. I live in the great state of Texas now. 18 years in Ohio, 20 years in California, and I got to see California turn to absolute horrendous thing. And traveling the world, I got to see San Francisco turn into one of the most demented cities, one of the greatest downfalls I've ever seen. And that is where the other candidate worked for 2 decades. And it's absolutely wild to see. And in Texas, stuff is really, really crazy. We're right there by a wide open border. Where are my proud Latinos at tonight? You guys see what I mean? It's wide open. There's so many of them. It's absolutely incredible.
I mean, yeah, I approve.
Believe it or not, people, I welcome migrants to the United States of America with open arms. And by open arms, I mean like this.
We're just getting warmed up on what are being called racist jokes. And by the way, like, yeah, they're racist jokes. They're not racist statements. He is an artist. He's using the craft of comedy to create laughter. And by the way, to anyone on Trump's campaign, and this isn't Trump himself, I'm sure he doesn't call him. No, he has a whole team that organizes these events. But to anyone on Trump's team that didn't know what they were getting into, you should have at least watched the roast of Tom Brady. Tony Hinchcliffe, I think that was the single best, I don't know how long he was on stage, 5 minutes of comedy. He was on fire. He was doing racist jokes to Kevin Hart's face and other people on stage. And if you don't have a sense of humor, you'll think he's doing racism. But no, he's using racist jokes. And again, that's not for everybody, but he is crafting comedy out of words. That's what he's doing. We'll get back to the video in just a second, but first, and I'm saddened to say, we're living in a new realm of tyranny and they're trying to bring more in. There's been 2 assassination attempts on President Trump, and both shooters have coincidentally appeared in BlackRock commercials. No tyranny or hidden agenda there. And just like how they're trying to take down President Trump, they're trying to take away not only your guns, but also your health freedoms. These 3-letter agencies like the FDA have been weaponized against the very people that they've been sworn to protect. And now, in addition to Trump, their second target, NMN. Why? Because it works. NMN is a supplement that is a game changer. It hands you the power of your health back. NMN has been shown to help people reduce weight, cholesterol, and high blood pressure. NMN has been dubbed the limitless pill because it can take 10 to 20 years off of your aging process. That's why many say it's like the fountain of youth in a bottle. But now the 3-letter agency of the FDA is trying to take NMN away from you. Why? Because they want to reclassify it as a pharmaceutical so the drug companies can have control of it and profit massively from it. And they're trying as we speak, and if that were to happen, NMN goes from being a sensibly priced supplement to an astronomically priced pharmaceutical. NMN is something I take every single day in my morning routine because there's never been a supplement like it, and the anti-aging effects it has are something I want the results of. So I asked my friends at Black Forest Supplements, who are now being sued by the FDA, by the way, so I want to support them, for a special deal for my audience, and they said yes. Here's a 48-hour only deal. Buy 2 bottles of NMN and get your 3rd free. There's never been a better time to stock up. It's still available, and Black Forest Supplements is offering a buy 2 bottles, get 1 free for the next 48 hours only. Go to blackforestsupplements.com/awaken to get yours now. Now back to the video.
It's wild. And these Latinos, they love making babies too. Just know that. They do. They do. There's no pulling out. They don't do that. They come inside, just like they did to our country. Republicans are the party with a good sense of humor. Free speech is under attack, people. I host a show, and each week I get updates what words we're allowed to use and not use anymore. It's happening right now the past few years. It's a real thing. And, you know, used to be able to tell people to Google stuff. My mom's a boomer in the state of Ohio, and there's no convincing her of anything. She's eating the cats. She's eating the dogs. They're eating the pets up there. It is absolutely wild times. It really, really is. And, you know, there's a lot going on. Like, I don't know if you guys know this, but there's literally a floating island of garbage in the middle of the ocean right now. Yeah. I think it's called Puerto Rico. Okay. All right. Okay. We're getting there.
And you hear the crowd, like, that was too much for that crowd. Obviously, like, there were more groans than there were laughs. He got an emotional reaction, so success for the comedian. But, you know, there's a difference. Like, Tony Hinchcliffe, he's sold out Madison Square Garden 2 nights in a row doing his show. During that show, he would say things that are way more radical than that. And the crowd erupts in laughter. The difference is people going to a Tony Hinchcliffe show at Madison Square Garden, they know what they're signing up for. That kind of dark humor, they're like, I'm on board with that. I want that. Awesome. Free speech exists, so they're allowed to say it and hear it. Now, the people here, they signed up to hear President Trump. They didn't know probably the most politically incorrect comedian is going to be on the stage, which I think is in a way healthy for this crowd. Like, you're all about free speech and no censorship. Well, that's what we're doing here.
Yeah, normally I don't follow the national anthem, everybody. This isn't exactly a perfect comedy setup. There's some people here. All right, very good. I like it. I have other policies that I think it should be implemented as well. Like me personally, I think football should be all year round. Yeah. So many great athletes. I don't know about you guys, but I think that Travis Kelce might be the next O.J. Simpson.
Implying that he'll murder Taylor Swift. That's a great joke.
Feels good in here. The other side's got a lot of crazy endorsements. Swift, Eminem, Leo DiCaprio, Beyonce. Every day the Democratic Party looks more and more like a P. Diddy party. Oh, okay.
That's probably the best joke of the night as far as the crowd's reaction. You have to understand Tony Hinchcliffe, he is an absolute seasoned comedian, one of the best comedians in the world. So even when the crowd's like, oh, groaning, he's feeding off that. He's not like Kamala getting booed at her own rally where she just gets more frazzled. He feeds off of it.
Okay, that's what you guys want. All right, heck yeah, it's a cool black guy with a thing on his head. What the hell is that, a lampshade? Look at this guy. Oh my goodness.
Wait for this.
Wow. I'm just kidding, that's one of my buddies. He had a Halloween party last night. We had fun, we carved watermelons together. It was awesome. You guys are, this is a groany little morning crowd, huh? It's tough to follow this audition for the next Commissioner Gordon's over here. It is, though. It's crazy times we're living in. I mean, all these pointless wars. It is unbelievable what's happening right now. It is incredible. Ukraine versus Russia, Israel, it's like bad soccer games. Who even cares? What are we doing? Why is our money involved in these wars? When it comes to Israel and Palestine, we're all thinking the same thing. Settle your stuff already. Best out of 3. Rock, paper, scissors. You know the Palestinians are gonna throw rock every time. But you also know the Jews have a hard time throwing that paper. You know what I'm saying?
I'm getting offended.
Fun now, we're cooking.
He's feeding off it.
Hillary Clinton said that this is a Nazi rally here today. Can you believe that? For the most anti-war president of my entire lifetime, and she calls him Hitler. Let me remind you, Hillary, it was your husband who shot innocent people, or as he called them, interns. Yeah, Hillary, I bet you did not see that one coming. By the way, if I commit suicide in 3 weeks, I didn't. I mean, it's just obvious to me who the right candidate is. There's a guy out here dodging bullets. It is unbelievable, right? He took it right in the ear. Unbelievable. I thought about this. I don't know if you have. Coolest place to get shot. Like if you're gonna get shot anywhere on your body, that's where you want it. Right there. Technically, he got shot in the head, depending on if you're a Democrat or a Republican. Right? If you're a Democrat, his ear was grazed. If you're a Republican, he survived the headshot. It is. It's the best place to get shot. It's the only part of the human body will drive a piercing through like a little girl's ear for no reason. Right? There's just it heals fast. Nobody cares. It's the best place to get shot. He went down, saw blood on his hands. I'd imagine he thought right then, I think I just won this shit.
One thing I'm fascinated by is how he loses the crowd, makes a joke that's not in good taste, according to the majority of the crowd. And then he wins them back. Whether you like this performance or not, it is masterful.
Stands up and says the most American words I've ever heard in my life. No. Before that, there was one more. Let me get my shoes. Fearless. Perhaps still with an active shooter. He's talking like a guy that just had the best one-night stand of his life. Right? Like, where's my shoes at? I gotta get the hell out of here. Let me get my shoes. And then the fight. What he did was so cool that Biden got COVID. Oh yeah. Go back, look at the timeline of everything again. 3 days after that. That means that Biden, he didn't get that from hanging out with sick people. He was in a sterile room in the White House, watching blood running down Trump's face as he pumps his fist. Biden's like, oh, fuck. Oh, God, no. It's true. Trump survived an assassination attempt, and Biden got COVID. We vote next week. God voted 3 months ago. Another great Austin, Texas resident, Elon Musk, will be speaking here later today. Unbelievable. Genius. You guys saw him shoot that rocket into outer space, the largest aircraft ever, fires it off into space, and then parallel parks it back to planet Earth. Meanwhile, Kamala supporters can't parallel park their Toyota Priuses properly. Sorry, I listen to Elon Musk. I follow his lead. The world's smartest, richest man has my attention. Except for when it comes to stock trading, then I listen to Nancy Pelosi. But censorship is amongst us, people. It's a very, very, very big deal. And I'm just here to say that you guys are for the right candidate. Tell your friends. Let's close it out. And let's make speech free again. Make America healthy again. Let's beat the team from California. The team from New York should beat the team from California, not only in this election, but in the World Series of Baseball, America's sport. I love you, New York. God bless New York. God bless America. Let's make it great again. I love you. Thank you. Welcome.
Now, before we get to what the left thought and even what Trump's campaign thought, let me know what you think of Tony Hinchcliffe's comedy set here in the comments below. Was it too much? Did you like it but think it was not good for Trump's campaign? Did you think it was good and good for Trump's campaign? Were you a double not like? I would be curious your thoughts. I don't think there's any right way to skin this cat. It's just, I think, personal preference. And also, what do you think was the best strategy? But Trump's campaign, they released a statement, something along the lines of a comedian's view with his jokes. We do not support that view. Yeah, they're jokes, not statements. I understand why his campaign had to come out and say that. Fox News, one of his campaign people, is here doing a little cleanup. Take a look.
But, this morning, the mainstream media has picked up on the comics comments, which were offensive, have been denounced by the campaign and everybody else. What went on with that?
Look, it was a comedian who made a joke in poor taste.
Well, that's your point of view. I understand she's got to kind of like throw the comedian under the bus. If anyone's going to be thrown under the bus, let's just say this was not good for his campaign. Who booked him? That person should be thrown under the bus. Tony Hinchcliffe was Tony Hinchcliffe, period. You should know who you're booking. Now, oftentimes, if I'm booked to perform in a special event, I want to know who the crowd is. Like I did an event for Christian parents. It's like, cool. These are parents, Christian parents. I knew that in advance, and just out of my taste, I kept things quite clean. I was booked to do a Trump campaign event, I think, almost 3 years ago. I was actually surprised. They didn't give me like, hey, can you keep things PG-13? They did none of that, which I actually appreciated. Yet I used my discernment, okay, these are obviously Trump supporters who tend to have conservative values, Christian values, which is great. So I'm not out to offend. I'm out to connect and show them a good time. Not everybody has that same discernment. Tony Hinchcliffe was Tony Hinchcliffe. If you're going to throw anybody under the bus, you better throw the person under the bus that booked him. Personally, I'm glad they booked him. I think what he did, whether you like his jokes or not, what he's doing is standing for free speech. Now, Tim Walz and AOC, boy, this video must have about 3 views on it. They did a little reaction commentary to Tony Hinchcliffe's set. Let's take a quick look at what Tampon Tim and Communist AOC had to say.
We're getting there. No.
Who is that jackwad? Who is that guy?
I actually think that's Tony Hinchcliffe, which is super disappointing.
If anything disappoints AOC, then I support it.
I mean, he's a comedian. I don't follow
Trump, this issue
very
with Puerto
closely,
Rico
but
again.
This issue with Puerto Rico, they're talking about is Puerto Rico's floating trash in the ocean. I love the way Tim Walz approaches it. This issue with Puerto Rico, Tony Hinchcliffe wasn't raising an issue, Tim. He was making a joke. I can't stand to hear them, so we're not going to watch any more of their commentary. However, Tony Hinchcliffe, he did release what you could call a statement, and it was in response to AOC and Tim's reaction. Here's what Tony Hinchcliffe has to say about, if you want to call it a controversy. These people have no sense of humor. Wild that a vice presidential candidate would take time out of his busy schedule to analyze a joke taken out of context to make it seem racist. I love Puerto Rico and vacation there. I made fun of everyone. Watch the whole set. I'm a comedian, Tim. Might be time to change your tampon. game set match for Tony Hinchcliffe. So with that said, that's Tony Hinchcliffe's performance at Madison Square Garden at the Trump rally. Again, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Two things. Did you like Tony Hinchcliffe's set? And do you think it was good or bad for Trump's campaign? I'll look forward to hearing your opinion, and I'll look forward to seeing you in our next video. But until then, keep speaking freely.